Marshawn Lynch had to say about Russell Wilson real quick. And I want to talk about how Russell is struggling badly in Denver. This guy got $245 million. And there are people who are not only making fun of this, they are bringing future into it. And they're talking about because he's starting to lose and not play well, that somehow Sierra wants to be with Future again. Listen, no matter how hard Russell Wilson tries, Russell Wilson is that guy that people root for until they don't have to root for him anymore. Right?
Right now, because he on a struggle bus.
Man, I want to reach out to dog, bro, because
They'll reach out to it.
You know it
His
ain't
manager.
that. You know it ain't. Man, come
His
on,
manager.
nigga. If I can't call you direct, nigga, then I ain't calling you. Especially, nigga, if I done went to war with you.
Right. What they're talking about is apparently Russell Wilson has a manager that handles people calling him, that handles his affairs. Apparently, you have to reach out to a third party, and this according to Richard Sherman. You have to reach out to them in order to get in touch with Russell Wilson. And they're trying to say, Russell Wilson might have gone Hollywood. He might have gone Hollywood on them. There's another post. Is it here? That he might have gone Hollywood on them. And this is another video clip here. Let me show it.
Damn, I know for a fact, like, I don't know. I know it's a lot of Seahawk individuals. Like, man, I don't want to see this dude, you feel me, though, succeed in Seattle. Like, they didn't want to see that. Because it's like,
they're talking about Russell Wilson. Apparently, there were people on the Seattle Seahawks that did not want to see Russell Wilson succeeding. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, we was a team. Right. And the way that it was portrayed was as if it wasn't. So you feel me, by him, being in that situation, not succeeding there and then leaving Seattle, because I ain't gonna lie, I really thought that dog was gonna retire a Seahawk. Like, that was the only way.
He couldn't, Sean. He couldn't. He was in the shadow. He was in the shadow. They said it was Sean. They said it was the Legion of Boom. He said he got to do it by himself.
Hey man, fuck that.
And Richard is like, Russell wanted to leave because he wasn't the man in Seattle. It was everybody else was the reason why they were winning, and it wasn't Russell. They were saying basically Russell Wilson's ego is what made him want to get traded. But everything that we've heard about Russell is that he's a good guy and his teammates like him, and that he's a leader. I want y'all to understand, there were people rooting for him when he was in with the Seahawks to lose. Like, that's crazy. But I'm telling you, I think it had a lot to do. There was the Sierra effect. I think that Sierra coming into his life was good, Bronx Eye. I think it changed some things with Russell. I think he became more aloof. I think he cared more about his appearance and his brand. And they weren't feeling it. And you can tell. I don't think that they feel this way because they want to pick on him. I think these guys, I'm not saying I agree with it at all. But they felt like he has rubbed them the wrong way. They feel wronged by Russell Wilson. Well, I won't say Marshawn Lynch do, but, well, maybe a little bit. But it seemed like he has rubbed people in that team the wrong way. And it was a situation where, man, we don't want him here.
Damn, I know for a fact, like, I don't know. I know it's a lot of Seahawk individuals. Like, man, I don't want to see this dude, you feel me, though, succeed in Seattle. Like, they didn't want to see that. Because it's like, I mean, we was a team. Right. And the way that it was portrayed was as if it wasn't. So you feel me, by him, being in that situation, not succeeding there and then leaving Seattle, because I ain't gonna lie, I really thought that dog was gonna retire a Seahawk. Like, That was the only way.
He couldn't. He couldn't, Sean. He couldn't. He was in the shadow. He was in the shadow. They said it was Sean. They said it was the Legion of Boom. He said he got to do it by himself.
Hey man, fuck that.
Let's see if there's another clip here. There's another clip here. And this is from Richard Sherman's podcast. Okay, it's another clip here.
It was more so just, them not seeing me get the opportunity to at least try.
Right.
They felt it. They seen how, you feel me? They seen how I move. And it wasn't on no, you know what I mean? I want to be the star of the team. I want to be flashy. I want to blah, blah. Nah, it was just, nigga, come on, let's go to work. We got to do something to win. All right, cool. It's up. It's up. Let's rock. And then them not being able to see me at least get the opportunity to try that, I think that was like why they empathized with me to the point where it's like, damn, bruh, if they would have just gave you that ball, because I mean, what, 7, 8 years later or something like that?
Yeah.
It was more so just.
Yeah, that's let's see. Okay, this is it says Marshawn Lynch discusses with Richard Sherman the pain he felt when Russell Wilson called an audible on the 1-yard line. It was almost as painful as it was yesterday.
I'm like, it's hella long ago. You feel me? Maybe no. It's almost as painful as if that was the play.
Yesterday. Right.
As if that was the last play that you just seen in football.
Right.
Like no matter what. And then the thing about it is, for what I say, what it did for me in Seattle, but what that shit do for me in any football country, like no matter where I go, bro, if it's a football fan and they recognize Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, the Seahawks, any of that shit, that's what they – hey, I just got one question. Why didn't they give you that ball? Why didn't they let you run that ball?
Imagine if they would have gave it to you, what your love would have been throughout the world. Then you would have been Super Bowl MVP. We'd be sitting up there with your bottle of privilege and having a blast.
Yeah, there's some hurt feelings there. A lot of those guys feel like Russell, they felt like his ego got the worst of him. And again, I think it is the Sierra effect. I do. I think it's the Sierra effect. And a lot of those guys aren't feeling that, man. They really not. And he is down. He's down extremely bad right now. He's down extremely bad right now, man. Hold on. I got another article here. It's from Game 7. It says Russell Wilson called out for troubling behavior by NFL host. All right. Now, this guy here does a show on the NFL Network. He wanted to speak his thoughts on Russell Wilson.
This is going places really fast. The last play is meaningful, not in just that it was KJ Hamler or not that he missed. It's the reaction afterwards from Hamler. It's spiking the helmets. It's that I don't know when Russell Wilson turned into Mitch Trubisky. But I wish he would turn into Geno Smith so they could win a game.
To take.
Okay? Right. Because Geno makes that play 10 times out of 10. And then afterwards, they got a 4th and 1. They want to go for it. I mean, look at that. That is a teammate that is on national television, that is at home. Afterwards, it's just perfect. They pass when maybe they should have run. I think Russell Wilson is one of the least authentic personalities we have in this league. I think Russell...
Did you hear that? You got the white host of this show saying that Russell Wilson is one of the most least authentic personalities in the NFL. He's basically saying that Russell Wilson is fake. He's saying Russell Wilson is fake. I wonder where they would get that from.
Wilson is a poser. And that doesn't mean he's a bad person. I actually think he's a good person. I think he tries to be something that he's not. And when you make the $245 million, you either got to be a really great guy with the locker room who loves you, or you got to be an amazing player. Brady, who makes half of what Russell's making, is both. Rodgers, MVP, Patrick Mahomes.
Pocket watching.
Holmes, both. Allen, people love him. He's amazing. Kyler, we'll find out. Russell Wilson, first of all, the NFL, the Broncos fan base has no history with him. They have no allegiance to him. This is not a Seahawks thing that they drafted him.
Shout out to Avery Wilson again.
Listen, when Russell came to his first game in Denver in a tuxedo, I already knew it's gonna be a disaster. I'm not here to degrade his wife, but she has totally got his focus off playing great football.
It seems like, well, I appreciate that, Avery. Shout out to Avery. He donated back-to-back 100s on the live stream. Appreciate that, man. Listen, Avery keeps doing that. I have to keep doing these multi-topic live streams. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the Sierra effect. It's the Sierra effect. That's why I hope that Russell and Sierra works out, because it seems to me that he's more about brand building with her than about making sure that he has the right chemistry with his receivers. I mean, do you actually go out, hang out with your receivers and build chemistry with them? They show up with a tuxedo. Was that like the Monday night game? Because they've been on, how many Monday night games have they had? Good grief.
Grew up with him, he's their guy. None of that. I got
Monday,
I worked
Thursday.
the NFL honors. I worked the red carpet. Kelsey comes by, Rodgers comes by. Russell Wilson shows up with his sunglasses and his wife, and I think they think they're Jay-Z and Beyonce, and they literally put their hand up and say, "No, we're not talking." Why? Because you think you're that cool and you're that famous and you're that amazing and everything is so perfect. That does not work in a locker room unless you are really good or really good guy. It just doesn't work. $245 million, that can come unraveled fast. And especially when you're missing throws like that and you're putting up 9 points in a nationally televised game. Look.
Damn. it took the Caucasian guy to say this, because all these other brothers, they be trying to kiss up to Russell Wilson and make excuses for him. Well, I mean, Stephen A. didn't today, but I mean, he's basically saying what a lot of these other people won't say. He's like, listen, I was around Russell Wilson and Sierra, and they're like, no, I don't want to talk to you. It's like, what? So his feelings are hurt. But that doesn't mean he's lying, that he's making up things. This is the attitude. Imagine what Russell Wilson's attitude is in the locker room. What his attitude is on the practice field. Outside of football. Is he the last to show up and the first to leave? It looks like he has no chemistry with his wide receivers. The thing about Tom Brady is a very well-liked guy, not only by teammates, but by opposing players. Tom Brady is very successful, but you don't hear about any type of Hollywood behavior with Tom Brady, him and Giselle. Well, I mean, now that the marriage is falling apart, but you're hearing this about Russell Wilson and Sierra. I wonder what, because I don't think Russell was always that guy. Russell was always a very blue-collar guy. Brady loves football more than his wife. Well, that might be a reason, right? So when you have an independent guy, not independent, but you have a guy who's sort of speaking from his perspective and speaking his mind, I wonder, did this guy get any pushback? Because this was October 7th. I've had this article for almost 2 weeks. And I was thinking about making a video, but I didn't. I didn't make a video on it. But I was going to speak on it now in this particular video. And this guy gives his own account about the attitude of Russell Wilson. I just want to know if his attitude is like that with others in the media and they don't say anything. This guy might be like this a whole lot, even with his own teammates. That's why they look frustrated, because wide receivers are not going to show up their quarterback if they genuinely get along with their quarterback. If your wide receivers don't get along with the quarterback, they're going to show out. You see how they're reacting. Look at how the running back, how he's acting. The wide receivers, look how they're acting. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. Plays are not working right. It's Russell Wilson that people are having problems with, his ego. Look at this article here, family. Look at this article. Yo, look at this article, man. It appears the Seahawks got fleeced in the Broncos Russell Wilson trade. Oh no, the Seahawks fleeced the Broncos in the Russell Wilson trade. Yes, they did. The Seahawks got a whole bunch of draft picks that they can use on their team next year. The team, I believe the Seahawks may still make the playoffs with Geno Smith. They can draft them a quarterback next year or 2 quarterbacks next year. And the Broncos are stuck with Russell Wilson in his contract. I think the Broncos did get fleeced. I think the Broncos was the only team that was willing to send those draft picks in order to get Russell Wilson. These other teams said, hell no, I am not sending you all those draft picks for Russell Wilson. That does not happen. Not for no 5'11 quarterback, okay? And the Broncos like, yes, we'll do it. Only for this to be the result. Now, things could always change. Things could always change. Well, will they? Not the way that team is acting. The head coach looks lost. The defense keeps them in all their games. If I could say one thing about the Broncos, is that their defense keeps them in a lot of games. The offense is what's losing them games. Yeah, Robert, I don't think he cares either, Robert. He got guaranteed money. Russell Wilson got a lot of guaranteed money. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. When you start getting those big contracts, because remember, he got a huge contract when he was with the Seahawks. He got the big contract. He got Sierra. He has the family, the brand. It's not as important to him as it was when he first, because this guy wasn't a high draft pick. This guy was considered to be a short quarterback. He wasn't the prototypical quarterback. So he had to work his ass off to not only be a starter in Seattle, but to win games, a championship. But he has everything he's ever wanted. Is he still going to be hungry? Not everybody's Tom Brady. Not everybody can have the supermodel wife, the family, and still be hungry for championships. That's what drives Tom Brady to keep coming back. It ain't the money. Tom Brady is always taking less money. He just loves football. Not everybody loves football. Tom Brady has everything a man would want, and he still cares about football. A lot of these guys, they have other cares, and obviously it seemed Russell just cares more about his brand now more so than football.